what the majority of us came here to see, the only poet to ever win America's Got Talent, right? Phenomenal writer, phenomenal person, father, husband, writing movies and scripts now, you feel me? I just want to say I saw this gentleman in Philadelphia, saw him in Baltimore. It's the first time I've ever seen somebody do what I love to do at a high level, and I saw myself in this person, and I'm like, man, I could be that. And the best part about this dude is, everything he does is about pouring into other people and helping them find their voice. Obviously, he told y'all that before. So now, what we want to do is Lancaster. There's a bunch of us up in here, y'all. We didn't know we had this many people in Lancaster. Look around, y'all. There. Let's show this man as much love as we can. Clap it for Brandon. Leake.
Man, bro. Do your thing, bro.
Love you, bro. Oh man, thank you guys so much for being here. I was told by one of your fellow peoples that if I say Lancaster, that it's a clear sign that I'm not from here. So I've heard Lancaster all day, so I'm going to do my best to represent it well. I'd like to go over some of my poetry rules with everybody real quick, if you would not mind. At poetry events, they encourage you to snap. Snap for me one time. Absolutely hate that, so please don't. I told y'all before, I grew up in a Baptist church home, so we clap, we applaud, so everybody, this side of the room say ooh. This side of the room say ah. Everybody laugh. See, I like when fake laughter bleeds into real laughter. So what I'm saying is, don't treat this like Shakespeare. This does not have to be roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, will you be my boo? By the way, fellas, do not use that. It will not work. But this is meant to be enjoyable. You do not have to be stoic to absorb this. Nor is it disrespectful if you engage with me. I want your engagement. Got me? Yes. All right, so I see some of y'all still don't get the black church thing, so let's try that again. You got me? There we go. All right, as a side note, I don't really take pauses between poems, so you're not really gonna know when they start or end. It's just gonna be like a story that you're gonna hear. Cool? Yeah. Awesome. So if we're talking about me and my journey and my story, there is no way you can start this story without first talking about my mom. Where the moms at in the building, y'all? Can we give it up for them, everybody? My mom is the whole reason I'm here alive. My mom is the absolute greatest. My mom gave up so much for me to have everything that I have. She had me at 19 years old, dropped out of college, got a job at Taco Bell and McDonald's. I don't know how you can compete with both of those places at the same time, but she did it to ensure that I would never be in need. And as I think about my mom being the superhero that she is, I can just imagine a young black girl sitting in the waiting room of a clinic on a cool December's Eve in 1991, awaiting the news of her unborn child. She that day would find out that she was having a son. For many at 19 years of age, this would be considered one of their darkest of hours, but for this young black girl, without even being conscious of it, knew all too well the beauty that resides in the dark and just how rich the cultural heritage of melanin skin lies within, and that a sunrise could be as black as dusk. You see, my mother, she personifies black girl magic, willingly sacrificing her own ambitions on the cross of my soon coming. And though this ain't Calvary, she knew the Calvary wasn't coming. No one to save her, no one to bear the weight of this blessing alongside her. She would have to be mother and father. Her only prayer, God, if you allow my son to be born healthy, I will raise him to know and praise you. And on May 4th, 1992, boom, baby, I arrived. And from that day forward, that woman has been my rock. I'm talking working countless jobs, the back end of fast food restaurants, but was still able to feed my soul. Working the census sent us poor folk could rely on, and though my mother knew the inner workings of banking systems, they would never account for her not nearly being compensated a fair wage for the war she'd waged. But my mother, the magician she is, she always knew how to turn despair into beauty. You see, my mother, she taught me that, boy, God gave you 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. That means that you need to listen and watch twice as much as you speak, because there is pride in saying that you have to learn everything on your own. And Brandon, once you are grown, make sure that you pass them lessons down. You see, my mother, she taught me about mistakes, about being flawed and imperfect, but still being loved. She taught me about God. And how the laugh fest we would share, the peck on my cheek and the foot in my behind all came from the same place. Love. Because if 1 John 4:8 states that God is love, then I am birthed to a woman who embodies the second coming, because my mother has loved me so holistically, it's crazy. What I'm telling you is I learned so much from this woman. Like, I learned how to cook from my mama. Now, don't get it wrong, my mama hate cooking. But I've seen that woman turn an empty pantry into a full plate to feed the family. I've seen that woman turn my wine into water and make it all disappear. I've seen my mother heal a boy as he was a leper at the gates of his father's absence, just longing to be let in. I see my mother heal a boy into a man because I see him every day. I look in the mirror, and ain't that what God do? So if there's one thing that my mama's taught me, it's how you can be holy and still be holy. Amen. Like, my mom, as I mentioned, is a legit superhero. She has done everything required to give me what I needed, even in the environment that I grew up in. I don't know what Lancaster is like. I have no clue what it's like. But I'm assuming that y'all still have somewhat of a hood. Okay. She's like, yes. Yes, we do. Liquor stores on every corner. But no, I grew up in the hood. I grew up on Southeast Side Stockton, 6th and Nightingale. When people see me on national television, I did this poem with some of my students. I went up there and I was like, South Side, and then I had all these people like, oh, he gangbanging. I'm like, no, that's just, anyway. Right? But like, I grew up in a neighborhood that had so many things that went against me that, like, my mom knew. She was like, Brandon, we're gonna send you to a different school than all the other kids in the neighborhood to give you a fighting chance to be able to do a little bit better. I went to this magnet school. I had to catch a bus like 5 miles away. All my homies went to the neighborhood school. And of like my 10 homies in my friend group, I'm the only one who's never served jail time. And people wonder why. It's like, yo, man, we get put into these systems that end up breaking us. And it's not just prison. We get broken long before we walk through those doors, right? And it's a real thing. And so I'll take you on a tour real quick. So hello, everybody. Hello. My name is Brandon Leake, and I'll be your tour guide today through 6th and Nightingale, our little hood oasis. Please be sure to not stray too far away from the group, for we are not liable for your safety. I feel it's only fitting that we start this tour properly poolside, or should I say pools side, because here at 6th and Nightingale, we believe in options. And I know what you may be wondering. Why are these pools discolored? Astute observation, my friend. You see, here at 6th and Nightingale, we believe in providing our residents with only the finest of inebriations. So go ahead and take your pick. Vodka, gin, malt liquor, tonic, whatever your heart desires to escape, we will provide for you. And you had a question. Oh, you want fresh, clean water. You see, now that's the good stuff. That'll cost you. For someone in your guys' financial position, it'd be much more cost effective to just get a pool full of cheap liquor and then dive in it. Much less led that way. But anyway, here's the next thing that I will do. We'll continue the tour. Here we have our cafeteria. Our employees receive calories for salaries. They get all the snacks, chips, candy, ice cream, soda a person could ever want. And if that doesn't satisfy your palate, no need to fret. We have our never-ending dollar menu and top ramen cuisine, which is sure to satisfy that palate of yours just right. And we now have another question. Yes, what? How can I help you? Oh, you want fresh fruits and vegetables and meat too, man, how cute. See, I think you may have us mistaken with our location a bit farther north of the south from here. But see, here's the thing though, this tour has to go on, so please don't disrupt anymore. We, here to the left, we have our local resource center. It's oftentimes empty due to the fact that people don't trust who or what lies inside. To our right is our local resource center, or my fault, recreation facility. It's oftentimes also empty due to risk of injury from fellow residents. But here we have our crown jewel of them all. Here we have our brand new school. We'll give your students a quality education. We'll give them, experienced teachers who are so burnt out by all the problems we don't help them with that they don't care no more, but we'll give them books and computers, but not the necessary educational requirements to go to college, because who would want to leave this beautiful place anyway? Here we built such a self-sufficient system that we rarely have any vacancies because no one ever really leaves. They just continue to refuel our machine. My fault. That's not in the brochure. It says that minorities love staying in our communities. So welcome to 6th and Nightingale. Unfortunately, at this point in time, we just don't really have any vacant. Wait, why y'all freaking out? Calm down. What? We told you, what? It's Thursday? Yeah, no. We just had a young boy who got gunned down by police. But it does appear now that we have a vacancy. So would you like to move in now or maybe later? My neighborhood swallowed people up. And my mom did her best to make sure that I wouldn't have to go through that same issue. And I had a best friend, my boy Bernard. He and I went to the same school, and we also lived in the same neighborhood. He was probably 4 or 5 blocks away, and my mama was like, you ain't never walking over there. And I'm like, Ma, it's 4 blocks away. She was like, you know the alleyway? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's why you ain't walking that way. But he and I were boys. Bernard was my dude, my dog. I don't think you guys get it, right? I showed up to kindergarten the first day, and I looked around and I was like, ugh. And then I saw Bernard and I was like, yeah, right? And so when it came to that, you know what? Better yet, let me do this. Everybody, please gather around. I have a story to tell. It's about a young boy. It's about a young black boy who he'd been running for years. And somehow I became his running mate. You see, me and Bernard, we ran to one another when we realized we were the only 2 black boys in our class. And from that day forward, we kept on running. We ran across the playground screaming, tag, you're it. Wait, no, tag, you're it. Or hey, I bet you I could beat you in a race to the gate. Innocence was our motor, potential our wings as we took flight amongst clouds of opportunity with no finish line in sight, but we ain't care because the journey and the company was all that really mattered. We grew older and we kept on running right alongside one another. We ran a secret candy business at the school, and we ended up buying all the Dragon Ball Z toys and comics we wanted with that money. We ran our mouths with our roast sessions, and we oftentimes ran to the bus stop because we were running our mouths just a bit too much. And when that teacher called you a nigga and you couldn't run no more, I picked up the baton and I ran for you. Not because you wanted me to, but because somebody needed to. Bernard, you're my best friend, and I can't stand idly by and let them hurt you. But as the years went on, I grew older and wiser, and I learned the motivation as to why you was running so much, bro. I learned that you were running You were running from your mother because you couldn't stand the abandonment. I noticed that you were running from your family because you were just longing for something different. I noticed that you were running from your grandmother because the weight of her words suffocated the life out of you. I noticed that you were running from your sister because she looked up to you like a god, and the weight of those expectations were too much for your young shoulders to bear. The unfairness of your life circumstances were such a bitter pill for me to have to swallow, and I can't imagine the toll it took on you. Because we were two black boys whose paths were so close at one point that I could see joy in your smile, I could see bliss in your walk, I could hear happiness in your heartbeat. And time progressed, and it's like it split our paths further and further apart, and now I don't recognize your smile. I can't hear your heartbeat, and I don't see your stride anymore. And time just kept going on. And memories of our symmetry had almost long been forgotten. I'm talking 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I finally decided to break the silence. I say, hey, yo, Bernard, man, let's talk, bro. How you been? Your grandma told me about what's been going on, and I just want to let you know that I'm always here for you, and at the end of the day, God will stand by your side. And what he told me was, yeah, bro, right now I'm just doing me. And the words I would speak next, I will forever regret being, yeah, bro, just do you. If I could rewind time, I would reach my arm through that phone, pull you back into my life, because I need you, man. I need my best friend because I don't soar amongst the clouds the same way I did with you by my side. I can't run as fast as I did with you right here with me, bro. So just run to me. Run to me like we did as children, and let's run away from the troubles of today. Bernard, will you just fly with me one last time, bro? Will you please just fly with me one last time? But I didn't say that. I hung up the phone and I went about my day. And 3 weeks later, I got a phone call from a friend saying that Bernard had just drowned in a levee 2 blocks behind where we used to live. I dropped my phone in disbelief, began to weep because I couldn't help but think that I just wanted to be my boy's guardian angel. And I can't help but hold these emotions of rage, because instead of running to me, it was like he was running away from his fears. Instead of running to me, it was like he was running away from all the things that brought him life. Instead of running to me, it was like he was running away, and he ran away into a grave, and from the dirt we were made, into the dust we shall return. But I can't help but think that my boy's return was far too soon, that his wings were clipped way too early. But if there's one thing that I do know, it's that the words that'll echo throughout eternity's halls about my best friend will be, you better run, black boy, run. You better run, black boy. You better run. My freshman year of college, my best friend died. He got claimed by the same neighborhood that our parents sent us away for school to try to save us from. And I can't tell you what this did to me, especially spiritually. I'd already lost my sister, I'd lost my grandfather, I'd lost my best friend and my brother. I'd attended 18 funerals by the time that I had hit 18. And I was just sitting in my college dorm room, so angry, so mad, so upset, just so frustrated, feeling like, God, what is going on? Why do I have to suffer through all of this pain and all of this misery when you are claiming to be such a good God? And I got honest. I bent down on my knees and I finally prayed the most honest prayer I've ever sent up. Ayo, God. Ayo, God. Ayo, God! If you actually up there, then we need to talk. Matter of fact, God, you know what? No, we don't even really need the dialogue. You need to listen. How come your ear don't ever come around here? Huh? Tell me that. Tell me how come your presence ain't never gifted to me? How come your garland of grace don't ever grace my family tree? I'm pissed off. Because in your word, you said you would never leave me nor forsake me, but I just buried my brother, my sister, my grandfather. In this isolation I'm feeling is a mother. So, God, where you at? It would be real nice to know that you're there. To know that these doubts I've carried my entire life are as much fallacy as they've always claimed you to be, because I've only ever wanted one thing, and that's clarity on your existence, because I only got one life that I'm living, and death's doubts got my hourglass cracking. I'm losing time. You see, this fear of not knowing what's on the other side of this existence is crippling, and I can feel his hands gripping around my throat, and these days I just can't breathe no more, and that's why I need to know. That's why I need to know that you're actually up there sitting on that throne, because if you're not, I need to move on. I need to place my faith somewhere else, because, yo, God, I never wanted to get this far, but with you by my side, I didn't think life would be this hard. I didn't think I'd have to bury so many parts of myself. I didn't think I'd be chasing after so many others' wealth. I didn't think that perfectionism would swallow me whole. God, I just thought that with you, I could finally let go of all this pain and misery that I just keep finding myself swimming in. I thought that I could finally move on, but you know what, God? If you're up there, just give me an answer. Hey, oh God, if you're up there, just give me an answer. Just give me an answer. Yeah. That's what I thought. You see, in the Bible, it says we're all God's sons and daughters. I realize now my biological father gleaned his parenting skills from you. I don't know why you can't just be here. I don't know why you can't just show your face. My faith would have been so much simpler that way, because, yo, God, I have never in my life wanted to doubt you, but I can't spend my life serving my grandmother's imaginary friend. So, yo, God, yo, God, yo, God, I need you. God, I need you to speak. God, I need you to speak. I need you to speak, because my soul, God, I don't know if it could stand no more of this. It's dying, and I'm afraid that you won't be here to resurrect me this time. Deficiencies, you're lurking through my mind. I'm longing to escape from you, but I'm running out of time. Deficiencies, you're tugging on my soul. All of this hurt I hid, will anyone ever know? Deficiencies, you're pulsing through my heart. God, I'm pleading to you now, please. I just need a fresh start. Just deficiencies. Now I can truly see that my sanity is destined for the same fate as humanity. And then it all goes dark. Brandon, my son, I want you to know I heard every single one of your prayers. My ear is not deaf to your suffering, neither my eyes blind to all that you've gone through. But Brandon, you know I know you. So please just do me the favor and be honest with me. All those nights that you fell down on your knees, did you genuinely seek after me, or did you only come for the healing I'd bring? Did you come open hands and heart ready to receive, or did you come closed mind and fist as your emotions began to twist you like a tornado, destroying everything that didn't look like the solution you wanted from me? Because Brandon, my son, when you look in the mirror, all you see are deficiencies. All you see are scars that have wreaked havoc on you mentally. But Brandon, a scar is a sign of healing that has already come. So don't you dare let your story end with pain, because if you look just beyond the surface, I promise you can find me. You can find me in the loving understanding of your mother, who gave up pieces of herself to help fill in the jigsaw puzzle you call your life. You can find me in the arms of your wife that'll make you question why you look for this love in the arms of anyone else. You will find me in the hedge of protection I put around you while you are sheep amongst wolves just trying to fit in. You will find me in the words of a book that you ain't opened up since you first showed up to me. Wow. First John states that if you confess your sins, I'll forgive you of all of them. But Brandon, you allow for your jealousy of other people's blessings to burn yours like chaff to the wind, and you let it go. Brandon, I'm telling you right now, you will find me in those who still reside in your heart but once stood beside you. Brandon, I have never abandoned you, but there's no testimony without first a test, and no true love without first a choice, and I've always given you the choice to choose me. Whether filthy or clean, my love is not dictated by your deficiencies. I don't care what not one of them churches may say about you. I have loved you whole because I see you wholly in my sight, my son. I don't care what any of the world may say about you. When they say you are worthless, I say you are worth dying for. Brandon, my son, I'm telling you, I have come for one purpose, to show you that you are my one true love. So my question to you is, will you give me a chance? Will you believe? Deficiencies, you once lurked through my mind, but you're no longer welcome here. My God showed up just in time. Deficiencies, you tugged up on my soul, but all of that hurt I hid, God knows, and is healed whole. Deficiencies, you pulsed through my heart, but you're no longer welcome here. Christ got my fresh start. So deficiencies, now I can truly see the world. I was never actually yours. So here's my goodbye, sincerely me. So that's the show. I technically do have an encore poem if you guys would like. Alrighty. This requires a little bit of a crowd participation. If you were at my show over at VIP, then you know this poem. Give me one quick second. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, there it is. All right, so I say, when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides, and then you all say hope. All right, so let's see if y'all are coordinated enough to get this down. So, when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. All right, so we had some people on 2s, some people on 3s. So let's try that again, all right? So, when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. There it is. So let's do this. When the world grew dark and skies were gray, God, you stood beside us to have hope to say that when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. That when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. Because where I'm from, I've seen dreamers deterred as the world referred to us as perturbed, or so I've heard. Ghettos were cold concrete, concealed crooked cracks that captured black cats, and we ain't talking felines in the 209, but we are more than struggled stories, more than laden laments. We are the personification of resilience, and it's high time we celebrate the dreams we preserved, then spurred to now occur. We done took our licks and finally hit the center of this Tootsie slide, for we will not be denied, for we are now dancing on these worried woes. Cause when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. Cause when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. I'm from a generation of broken homes. Daddy's gone. No wonder we've sprung from crack houses. We've survived fractured lives due to all that we were deprived of. But we had love, but we had hope. And ain't it beautiful to see how the dreams that were once buried grow to trees, bearing beautifully bountiful fruit, and it's easy to carry disdain when all you've known is rain. But the forest would never complain, knowing the downpour was required to sustain the life it holds, the fruit it yields, the years required to build its foundation. The rainforest is you, it is me, it is us, it is we are it. These words just a seed blossoming now so we all can believe that when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides a hope this strong cannot be tamed. The fire burning inside your soul will survive their reign, because what they thought would be loss has now turned to gain. Because when the world grew dark and skies were gray, God stood beside us to have hope to say that when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. That when it come to me and my folk, we lost everything besides hope. That when it come to us and our folk, we lost everything besides hope. That when it come to us and our folk, we lost everything besides hope. Ah, thank you, Lancaster.
Ba